Always something that we can be learning, growing, perfecting, shaping, molding, right? The minute we stop evolving, we're dead.
He was like, sure, let's do it. Let's come up with the whole synopsis and the premise and everything. And that's what we did. We came up with the whole thing and the name, and she involved Emily, and that's how you got love.
I'm gonna tell you something. It made me feel some kind of way about you. That's the real problem.
But I didn't know it was gonna turn into all this. Oh,
well, I didn't know it was gonna turn into.
Now, who would have seen this coming? Kirk and Rasheeda? Yes, that Kirk. The one with all the cheating scandals? And Rasheeda, Miss Boss Cheek herself, finally getting canceled for real in 2025. It's feeling like the end of an era. But let's be honest, nobody's even shocked anymore. The way everything's falling apart, it's been a long time coming. The internet is on fire, and word on the street is that Miss Mona Scott Young pulled the plug herself. And no, it wasn't just because of some petty drama either. Sources say the couple was breaking contract rules left and right. And on top of that, the fans just weren't tuning in anymore. The love and hip-hop magic, gone. Poof, the sparkle, dead and buried. Now Kirk and Rasheeda out here doing interviews and tossing blame like hot potatoes, acting like they didn't just spend a whole decade wilding out on national TV. But here's the tea for real.
Studio with a big book in her hand, and she told me she wrote the song in the car. You know what I like? I don't see nobody in here. You're writing your own.
There's a deeper reason this OG couple just got the boot, and baby, it's juicy. So let's break it down. Kirk and Rasheeda been holding it down on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta since day one. We're talking over 10 years of mess, cheating scandals, side kids, open relationship rumors, and Rasheeda flipping wigs while still running her press boutique like a boss. And trust, it only gets wilder from here. They weren't just some regular cast members. They were the show. Kirk and Rasheeda had fans either writing for them or dragging them nonstop. But love 'em or hate 'em, they brought in the ratings. Still, behind the scenes, it was a whole different story. Word is, Mona Scott was over it. Insiders say things between Mona and the Frosts got real tense these past few seasons. Rasheeda, who once had fans screaming, "Boss Cheek," for standing tall through Kirk's chaos, allegedly started turning into a whole problem.
And so I apologize for that part. What I'm not gonna apologize for is how I feel. So I'm gonna tell you how.
So let me tell you, while you telling me how you feel, you up when you.
She was out here trying to rewrite scripts, demanding control over edits, and flat out refusing to film anything that might mess with her image. Like, what brand are we protecting here, sis? The cheated on but still thriving hustle brand. Sources say she even stormed out of a meeting talking about how she didn't need the show no more. Meanwhile, Kirk wasn't making it any better. That man was out here showing up late, ignoring call times and treating the crew like they were nothing. And let's not act like folks didn't hear about the shady brand deals and unpaid checks either.
You've been married for going on 25 years and been in a relationship with somebody who you've lived your life with. You got things to think about before you throw everything away.
How you beefing with the very people who made your name? Together, what used to be a reality TV power couple turned into a straight-up production headache. And still, Mona kept them on for years. Why? Because she knew the fans were hooked on that messy, toxic roller coaster of a relationship. But sis finally had enough. Mona's patience wore real thin, and honestly, it was only a matter of time before things blew up. And when it did, whew, it exploded. So here's where everything hit the fan. What was supposed to be just another chill filming day, nothing wild, just Kirk showing off some new business move, turned into full-blown chaos the second Rasheeda walked in. Word is, she showed up already heated, going off on producers about how the scene was set up. She came in mad, accusing them of trying to make her look messy on camera.
Say we are not all like this. It's fine to say, I would rather see us elevate beyond this, but to deny it is what started to annoy me.
Sis said the storyline was fake and straight up refused to film. Then boom, it turned into a full screaming match. She was allegedly going off, yelling at the top of her lungs, accusing producers of setting her up, and threatening to walk off the scene completely. It got so wild that security had to step in and calm the situation down. And just when it felt like things couldn't get messier, Kirk jumped in, looking dead serious, and shouted, "Cut the cameras! Dead!" Like, are we on a show or in a whole meltdown? Of course, Kirk had Rasheeda's back. He jumped in, called the whole crew fake, and even went behind Mona's back, hitting up the network execs to try and shut the scene down completely. And let's hit pause right there, because that one delay, it reportedly cost production thousands. Time is money in this game, and messing with shoot schedules ain't cheap.
He was like, sure, let's do it. Let's come up with the whole synopsis and the premise and everything, and that's what we did. We came up with the whole thing and the name, and she involved Emily, and that's how you got love.
Mona was already heated. Kirk and Rasheeda were acting brand new on set, like they forgot who gave them their start. But then, Mona got hit with some next-level tea, and that changed everything. Multiple insiders started whispering that Kirk and Rasheeda had been secretly feeding info to bloggers, leaking messy stories about the show's editing crew. But they weren't just playing the victim on social media. Nah, they were allegedly in secret talks with another network, trying to pitch their own reality show. And here's the shady part. They wanted it to be all about their businesses, family life, and behind-the-scenes drama. Basically, everything they already aired out on Love and Hip Hop for years. No Mona, no VH1. No mention of where it all started. Just a shiny new version of their mess. On a new network, The Gag, the storyline they were pitching looked way too familiar. Business hustle, family struggles, parenting drama, marriage ups and downs. They didn't just take inspiration. They took the whole blueprint and tried to build a mansion across the street. To Mona, this wasn't just ambition. It was straight-up war. Kirk and Rasheeda weren't just cast members anymore. They turned into full-blown ops, using the same platform Mona gave them to try and compete against her. That's betrayal on a whole different level. Not only were they biting the hand that fed them, but they tried to flip the leftovers and serve them up at their own table like it was fresh. The audacity! And just when you think it couldn't get messier, bam! After cutting ties with Kirk and Rasheeda like bad Wi-Fi, Mona started throwing low-key shade inside her inner circle. Word is, she began dropping hints that some of her other cast members might have been playing both sides for years. Let's keep it a buck. This shook the entire Love and Hip Hop world. Folks on set started looking at each other sideways. Trust, gone. Loyalty, out the window. It turned into paranoia central. Mona wasn't playing either. Sources say she told producers she was watching everything now. Anyone who's been tough to deal with behind the scenes, getting monitored. Scripts being rewritten, contracts under a microscope. And to top it all off, after all that chaos, zero usable footage from that shoot. That's when Mona finally said, enough is enough. Within 24 hours, she pulled her showrunners and legal team into a private meeting. And sis didn't come empty-handed. She had receipts, texts, missed calls, broken clauses. Mona had it all lined up. Internal memos were sent straight to the VH1 higher-ups and production bosses. It was go time. The language in those memos? Cutthroat. Kirk and Rasheeda were officially labeled non-cooperative, disruptive, and straight-up liabilities. And when that dreaded corporate term, insubordination, popped up, you already knew it was done? This wasn't just about one bad day on set. This was a whole pattern of disrespect, drama, and money down the drain. That's when Mona hit her breaking point. She gave the green light, terminate their contracts immediately. No second chances, no dramatic sit-down, no final reunion moment, just poof, gone. And get this, they didn't even get a proper goodbye. Not a send-off, not a mention, just erased like they never existed. Kirk and Rasheeda always moved like they were untouchable, acting like their storyline was more authentic than everyone else's. But insiders been saying for years that these two were getting grimy behind the scenes. Rasheeda allegedly walked around like she was doing the show a favor, wanting all the screen time without any of the mess. But girl, this is reality TV, not an infomercial for pressed ATL. And Kirk, he wasn't any better. From showing up late like it was optional, to sneaky business deals outside the show's contracts, folks on set noticed. People were whispering about how he treated the production team like they owed him something. Like, bro, you forgot who made who. Kirk was out here acting like, I'm the star, not the problem. But now that they've been kicked off, instead of owning up to anything, they're busy pointing fingers at everybody else. Like, really? Be so for real. They had the fans, they had the storyline, and they had the chance to keep winning. But they wanted the clout without sticking to the contract. And baby, that's not how this game works. Now all this mess got the fans buzzing, but guess what? It's shaking up the rest of the cast too. Some are low-key relieved that Kirk and Rasheeda are out, but others, they're nervous, real nervous. Cause let's not pretend Kirk and Rasheeda were the only ones testing the limits. Spice? Yeah, she's been in her feelings too. Word is, she thinks the show's been doing her dirty ever since that major health scare. And fans? A lot of them agree. They're saying she doesn't even need love and hip-hop anymore. And honestly, they might have a point. She's still in the mix, but it's like, barely. Spice been on the show since dial-up internet, and it's starting to show. Fans say she's tired, and the drama? It's feeling recycled at this point. Like, how many times can we watch the same storyline with a new wig? But don't even get me started on Miami. Trina. Sis been clocked out for like 2 whole seasons. And Pinky Doll? Yeah, we don't even need to break that one down. Fans are saying the entire franchise is on shaky ground and Kirk and Rasheeda getting kicked to the curb? That might have just been the first domino to fall. But let's bring it back to the streets real quick. Cause when this drama exploded, fans weren't just watching, they were talking, and loud. People weren't just picking sides, they were dropping some real takes. Some of y'all are still riding hard for Rasheeda. One fan even said, despite all Kirk's cheating, lies, deception, and that Jasmine baby drama, they've been stuck on that same storyline for 8 years. Rasheeda forgave him, moved on. So why does she gotta keep reliving that trauma every season? It's tired. It's not fair. And you know what? That's where the convo took a serious turn. Cause more and more folks are starting to agree. Mona and her team? They've been milking black pain for views and coins for over a decade. Fans feel like Rasheeda's been forced to reopen old wounds just to keep the cameras rolling. And when she finally said, I'm done, what happened? She got hit with the label. Difficult. Like standing up for your piece means you're suddenly a problem? The game is twisted, and people are finally calling it out. Another comment that went viral said it loud and clear. I think they quit before it was even made public they were fired. And now, all of a sudden, Rasheeda's being labeled difficult, just because she's tired of being forced to relive the same tired drama over and over again. But let's keep it a buck. Y'all been calling Mona out too. People are dragging her for acting like she's the sole reason love and hip-hop exists, like she built it from scratch. But don't forget the real origin story. Let's rewind. Jim Jones and Chrissy were the original minds behind the concept. Mona just ran with it and flipped it into a franchise. But even now, Jim still says they never got proper credit, never saw a dime in royalties, nothing. So when Mona sits up in those confessionals talking about, I built this empire, folks ain't having it. Some are saying she straight up snatched the idea from Jim and Chrissy, turned it into a cash machine, and never looked back. And let's not forget the time Mona actually said she feeds the cast and that should be enough. What? Fans dragged her for filth after that. Like, girl, feeding people doesn't cancel out exploitation. Feed them. Like, is this a zoo now? Are they pets or people? Fans were not having it. That whole I feed them comment had folks heated. Like, is eating the only thing cast members are supposed to do with their checks? It's giving Muppets on strings, not real cast with real value. And people are fed up with the whole power dynamic. And look, if Kirk and Rasheeda did try to break off and build something more real, there's actually a chunk of the fan base rooting for them. Some folks want to see them flip the script and control their own narrative for once. But now, we gotta talk legacy, because some people swear Kirk and Rasheeda think they are love and hip-hop. Like the show can't run without them. But then someone dropped this bar that had the internet cackling, Kirk and Rasheeda think they're love and hip-hop. But sometimes you're just iconic because you're old, not because you made hits. Whew. And they even added old and tired. That one hit hard. Because yeah, Kirk and Rasheeda stuck around. But were they evolving? Or just stuck on rerun mode? Fans feel like it's been the same trauma loop for years, recycled just to stay in the spotlight. And now that they're out the picture, maybe it's time for everybody to take a good look in the mirror, including Mona. 'Cause this ain't just about one couple, it's about how the whole machine moves. With Kirk and Rasheeda out the picture, there's a big vacuum on love and hip-hop. Like them or not, or just tuned in to see if Rasheeda would finally leave Kirk. Spoiler, she never did. They were staples. Now that they're gone, the show's got holes and Mona's out here scrambling to fill them. Word on the street is she's flipping the whole formula, trying to bring in younger, wilder, and messier cast members. Think TikTok clout chasers, messy influencer couples, relationship drama with receipts posted mid-episode, and maybe even some side baby bombshells ready to explode. Basically, chaos with a ring light. And insiders say Mona's watching everyone like a hawk now. If you're not obedient or not playing the reality TV game her way, you're next to get the boot. She's rolling out NDA upgrades, strict storyline control, loyalty clauses. You name it, the grip is tight. But here's the catch. Fans aren't dumb anymore. They're seeing through the rinse and repeat cheating arcs. They want fresh tea, new drama, and something that doesn't feel like trauma being recycled for views. And if Mona can't deliver without running the same tired formula, this whole franchise might start feeling expired instead of iconic. So now the real question. What's next for Kirk and Rasheeda? Rumor has it they're shopping their new show to streaming platforms and Black-owned networks. Looks like the Frosts are trying to flip the script for real this time. Think BT meets Zeus. That's the vibe Kirk and Rasheeda are allegedly aiming for. You already know, they're trying to lock in a series focused more on their businesses like Pressed and Frost Bistro, plus all the so-called growth they've had off camera. Will it actually work? Maybe. They've got name recognition, a loyal fan base, especially the folks tired of watching Rasheeda suffer season after season, and a marriage that's somehow still holding on, drama and all. So if they play their cards right, this could be their chance to flip the whole script and finally take control of their own narrative. No more edits, no more replays of old mess. Just their version of the story, raw and unfiltered. But now, I need to hear from you. This saga got everybody deep in their feelings, and I know y'all got opinions. So drop them in the comments. Was Mona wrong for cutting Kirk and Rasheeda loose? Or was it long overdue? And if they do drop a new show, be honest, you watching or nah? Let's be real. Is love and hip-hop even hitting without its OG messy duo? Or is it starting to feel real washed up? Let me know all your hot takes down below, because this convo is far from over. And don't forget, hit that like button, share this with someone who stays in the tea, smash that subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. You don't want to miss what's coming next.